Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Magic Progression series, where I just talk about me learning magic from nothing. I changed a bunch of stuff around. Probably chief amongst which is that I've started introducing cancelling abilities at what I think is the proper time. Most of the time, I'm still not entirely clear on everything about it, but I did realize that there was a fair bit of like clunky tick loss, similar to using dark bows or other EOF special attacks when you were trying to use many ABS specs in rapid succession. And one of the ways that I got around doing that is I tried to separate the ABSs with normal thresholds or basics, depending on where my adren is at. And I also figured that if you try to cast a threshold or basic at the fourth hit of the ABS spec rather than the fifth one or after the fifth one, then you can effectively cancel the ABS into the next ability, and it will just like flow a little bit more smoothly. And over the span of an entire sunshine, you save enough ticks that it grants you an extra like 2 GCDs, which is kind of big. Since last, I've also bought Magma Tempest. I didn't really want to do this update with that ability included the way that it is now, because I think it's fucking dumb. But it is what it is, and Sponge did say that they decided to push back the update until next week at least, so I'm not gonna hold on the video much longer because there's not that much that I have to say about it. I do think that Magma Tempest needs to be revisited. I think it's overpowered, but I've had a lot of fun using it. I did spend somewhere in the neighborhood of max cash buying the ability codex, which I kind of took as an L at the day of purchase. I did also decide that I was gonna camp ED3 for a while to learn this and use it. And ED3 ended up being really generous towards me this week, so I've paid for the codex, I think, 3 times over or something. So the slowdown clip you can see here is me trying to cancel an ABS spec with the threshold ability at what I thought was the proper timing. So there goes my asphyxiate right at the end of the ABS, and then I'm trying to seamlessly flow into another ABS after the asphyxiate is up. And I just sort of carry on doing this cancelling with a Magma Tempest here. So my rotation looks something like this most of the time, or at least I try to. The order of the cancelling abilities here, that varies a little bit on Adren. The Magma Tempest one tends to be in the same place because that one has a time base to it as well. Obviously, you want the durations to overlap as much of the sunshine as you can. As much of the FSOA spec as you can. The Sunshine and the Tempest don't actually interact, but the Magma Tempest crits causes two-handed auto attacks to fly out of the FSOA spec, and that's why Magma Tempest is ridiculous right now. So what I'm doing now is I ended up settling for the Sunshine first variant of the previous ability rotations that I sort of speculated may be useful for this. I'm building with a Concentrated Blast and a Deep-Breath most of the time, at which point I'm at Tsunami Adren, then I Tsunami, and then I G-Conk again before I plant the first Magma Tempest, and after that one is done, I spec with the FSOA. Then I use a Limitless Sigil and a Smoke Tendril to build up Adren, because Smoke Tendrils always crit, so it's a really nice way to gain up enough Adren to be able to start the dump. Then I, at the end of that Smoke Tendril, throw out the first ABS. I cancel that one with either like an Asphyxiate or an Omnipower, depending on the fight. And then the second cycle, I cancel the following ABS with another Magma Tempest, so that one runs over the end of the FSOA spec. So I just juggle these, really. I try to do like every other ability as an ABS, and the really good Sunshines, you end up getting like 4 or maybe even 5 of them if you can finish with one, which is really, really sick. You're also able to push a ton of damage, because how this works together in a way, or it synergizes, as Jagex have been fond of saying lately, which I think is fucking lame. But anyway, it does. The different effects trigger each other, so the more you crit, the more adrenaline you gain back, and the more you can continue this dump without having to waste any time doing any like basics or weaker abilities, right? So some of the kills you end up doing like a 350k Sunshine because some of it was kind of crap, or you got lost, or you fucked up, and then you have those ridiculous kills where you do like a fucking 500,000 damage or something in one sun. It has been unpredictable and entertaining. I do think that the 235 Ambassador was probably the best thing that's come out of it so far. If you haven't watched that video, it was my latest upload. Check that one out because it's actually pretty sick. And I hope I'm going to be able to continuously improve this, especially the out of sun windows that I'm still working on. So here's a video example of a sunshine rotation the way that I try to do them right now. Again, the cancel abilities are in no particular order here. I do that based off of Adren and the fight itself, sort of just winging it, really. And here's a clip of me finishing a sunshine with a really disgusting combination of ABSs and SFXs that ended up critting a lot. So this is kind of where I'm at right now. Battlegrounds that I've been using this so far have been mainly Elite Dungeons because it's some of the content that I feel the most comfortable with. It's also really generous for when you try to just improve DPS overall, because most of the bosses are in some manner a DPS race. I have been doing ED3, most of them, because it's the one that I enjoy doing the most with Magic. It's also been extremely rewarding, and here are 5 entries of my adventure log that you can see the correlating dates there. Starting with the first one on the 5th, and then the 8th and the 14th back to back. That was pretty disgusting. And then the 17th, which is today. So out of these 5 drops, 2 were doubled, which means in the past 2 weeks I've gotten 7 Eldritch pieces from ED3, and then I don't really know how much I've made from other PVM, but I did make the max cash stack that I spent on the Codex book back many times over, and I'm at a point now where I'm starting to look towards other possible upgrades, or maybe even like a vanity set of Diatectonic, because I'm starting to really like Magic. I don't really have anything else to say other than that's sort of how it's going. It is going well. I'm cutting off kill timers left and right, which is sort of to be expected because this is furiously overpowered compared to what I set those timers with, which was range, when range was at its greatest. And I hope the Magma Codex nerf doesn't completely fucking decimate what they've built here, but maybe scales it back a little bit because it's really insane. So yeah, that's most of what I had to say. It's getting late and I don't want to drag this on, but there's the update that people asked for, and have fun playing. I hope you guys get to try this stuff. Have a nice evening.